Okay, where are we? What are we doing? Well, we're going to do another one of my little quick looks. I am currently overlooking the factory. Get my binoculars out. Now, put the binoculars away. Bring up the map. This is on the eastern side of the map, just above Solnichny. About where my pointer is now is probably the most northerly spawning location. In other words, factory is somewhere you can get to. Now this is another one of those funny bits of the map. It was designed for a particular job, and the job is within the main game. This is one of the locations where you can set up a game and play, and what it is it's, I suppose it's a bit like Call of Duty or many other first-person shooters. If you play this particular version of the game, you've got respawn, you've got many vehicles, sorry, a few vehicles, you've got lots of infantry, and one group spawns over here, the other group spawn over here, and you fight over this factory area. So that's why this is here. It's for close quarters battle. How good it is in spawn locations for Dayz, I'm not entirely sure. Let's find out. Oop, I've hit the wrong button. There we go. So we're going to run down and we're going to have a quick look at the factory. So we've moved in a little closer. So one thing I wanted to check is this pond. Is it a pond or is it seawater? Because obviously if it's seawater you can't drink it. So let's do a little test. I'll drink the water. And can I refill it? And the answer is, oh yes, you can. So it is a lake, it's not seawater. Some of these things it's an inlet, some of them aren't. So let's have a look at this. We're looking at it from the point of view of Dayz and spawning material in. So let's have a quick little look in and around. I can hear the zombies. The zombies have respawned in response to me. Sorry, I'm going first person as I normally like to. Hello, zombie. There's going to be a few around. So, this building. This should be, as it is replicated several places on the map. There's one down in Kamenka, for instance. Your normal light industrial spawning. Look, we've got an engine, a hatchet, some tin cans. So this is much what we would all come to know and expect. Now very often I find myself in a building identical to this, the one down in Kamenka, after having respawned in. And I'm running around looking for a hatchet, as one does, as a method of defending myself. And I end up with zombies coming up the stairs. What I do is I tend to stand back to about here, let the zombie comes into the room, and then run around them. Now, when you come out into here, be careful, but what you're looking for is you get spawn over there sometimes, which is turned up in this case. The other one is you get it down there on that level, and the way to get down there is you climb down, but at this point, and you may find spawn here, but at this point you have to be careful because there's no longer a barrier around here. So let's go back up again. And these spawn locations for loot are exactly the same on all of these buildings wherever you come across this building. So if you're in Kamenka, you've spawned down in the wilderness or something, and you've come to one of these buildings, they've got one down by the coast, you've come down to it because you're after a hatchet, which is always, I don't know about you, it's always my first thing I'm after is a hatchet. Now, do you see the blue doors? They allow you to run down. Now we get into this building. Again, light industrial in here. You can see we've got a toolbox, windscreen. Looks like we've got something that might be worth having a look at. Always look at these because you never know what they're going to be. And it's AK rounds, flare, and a knife. So again, not a bad little location, and it's, well, low-level industrial, much as you would expect. Other from low-level industrial, you're not going to find a lot over here. Couple of windscreens. Another toolbox. Looks like it's toolbox day. Hello, Mr. Zombie. Don't forget, you get... Ooh, there's actually something there that might be worth having. You get these little railway stations all over the place. Well, wherever there's a railway line. And they get loot as well. So let's go quiet, because that's some standard rounds, and I would like those. Because I always pick up standard rounds, even though I'm MP5. I love that as well. Let's have a little look. We've got a couple of buildings over there. I think at least one of them is enterable. But there's not a great deal more in this location. You know, low-level industrial. Probably find someone's been through here because all those doors are open. Looks like it's toolbox day because we've got lots of toolboxes. Now, you can get onto the roof of this building. There's a ladder, and then another ladder. You can get onto the top of these as well. Not sure what purpose they would serve within Dayz. Oh God, I'm getting chased again. But while we're here, we might as well have a little look at this agricultural up here. See you in a sec. So we come into the agricultural section, and again, you know, these are all very much as you would expect. I mean, this one's full of boxes, but ordinarily, you know what to expect. Well, hopefully you know what to expect in these things. I always try to line myself up with walls. If you were a newbie off the beach, that would be nice. I'm not going to drop my saw for it, but some can of food over there, some pistol ammunition. Nothing up there. Cans over there. So much as one would expect in a barn. We have a machine barn over here. I have a Z. Bye bye Z. But if you came in off the beach and you spawned in up near Solnichny, this would be a reasonable place to come to. You know, you're going to find quite a lot of what you need in this location. There's agricultural, there's light industrial. So, you know, you're going to find a hatchet. You're going to find... Well, hopefully you're going to find a hatchet. You're going to find potentially a civilian weapon. And a few of the other bits and bobs. So, that's factory. There is over the far side a house, but if I remember rightly, I think it's bugged out. Let's get the binoculars up. I think it's the one, yes. Can you see how high that first step is? You can't get in. Or if you can get in, it's a real pain in the tail. And that's what I meant by that building you can get onto the roof of. You can get onto that roof. To what purpose, I'm not sure. You know, when you're playing the armour, yeah, you want to get on the roof because you can snipe people, but... Factory. And this little out of outlying buildings here. Just north of Solnichny. God, I hope I'm saying that right. And that is about the highest... Let's get rid of that. I've got a Z coming to me. You little bugger. Solved this problem. Right, yes. What I was saying is the highest spawn point you're likely to encounter would be about here. That's about 1 kilometre away. That's a fairly easy run. You don't get much in Solnichny. And on that note, thank you very much for watching. Another little quick look at a portion of the map Hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye.